Chapter 11. A Change of Plans. Jesse whistled as he walked the shortcut home from a friend's house. He was happy that school was closed for a while, even if it was because of the flu. He spied the white clapboard of his house as it became visible through the thicket of trees. His eyes darted around the yard looking for any sign of his father. Nothing but grass and trees. He tried to shrug off his worry. Things have been kinda good lately. Jesse thought kinda because he knew he didn't want to get his hopes up. Though he was young, he already knew life could go bad very easily. Jesse pressed his lips together. That was one important lesson he'd learned at an early age. Don't plan on a good day, it's more likely it won't be. But Ms. Jackson said if you do the steps, they work. I've been doing the steps and things have been working. Maybe, just maybe. He lifted his chin as he came through the woods into the clearing where his house stood. It was a shack, and he knew it. That's why he had no friends over to his house. As if I would bring any friends around before with Dad like he was. Jesse kicked through the garbage sitting in the yard, unsure of how long it had been there. The food had rotted away, but there were still cans and plastic lying around that he had to weave his way through. He started up what once may have been a sidewalk. It had somehow disappeared and was now little more than a dirt-covered trail leading to the house. Mid-step, a heavy bang sounded as if someone hit something. Like a startled deer, Jesse's muscles tensed. His heart raced as fast as a rabbit he'd once caught in the woods. He came to a sudden halt. Loud noises were not good in his world. They meant anger and trouble, very probably, waiting for him. The boy crouched. He waited a minute or two before he took small, cautious steps forward and stopped. He heard another bang, a few rattling sounds, and a few choice curse words. A bead of sweat slid along the side of his face. Next, the grinding, rattle of a glass bottle as it bumped across the uneven, wooden floor inside his house. Then silence. In an instant, his whole body drew inward, an automatic gesture preparing him for what was to come. A roar of anger, the slurring words of a drunk father. But there was nothing, no sound at all. I hope he passed out. Jesse debated running for it. Instead, he crept closer to the half-opened front door to see what he was in for if he came home at all today. If he was careful enough, he could peek through without being seen. Almost there. One more step was all Jesse had left. Moving without a sound became his only thought. Quiet as he could, Jesse lifted his foot and set it down to the ground. At last, he was where he needed to be, at the beat-up front entry. Inch by inch, Jesse tipped his head forward to peer around the corner. His mouth dropped open in surprise. Is he cleaning? Jesse watched his dad load a garbage bag with stuff, junk really, from the floor. It was something he'd never seen him do. Frankie turned and saw Jesse peeking through the door. He grimaced at the sight of his frightened son and rubbed his shirt sleeve over his misty eyes. Quit skulkin' around, boy. Come over here and help your old man out. We need to sort through this stuff and see what I should be keeping. Jesse sagged against the doorframe in relief. If he is calling me boy, instead of something else, he's in a good mood. His father's request was every bit as surprising, if not more so, than his high spirits. Jesse had always thought of the floor junk as garbage. He'd never considered that someone might actually want to keep any of it. The boy gave a ghost of a smile and headed over to help his father. As Jesse got close, Frankie reached out a hand and clamped it on Jesse's shoulder. Jesse froze and held his breath. Frankie's voice broke when he said, "This kinda life isn't what I wanted for you, Jesse. I'm staying off the liquor for sure this time." Jesse looked at the floor and nodded his head hoping for the best. But at least today is good, a good day after all.